it's a beautiful Thursday morning, and we hope you had a restful and enjoyable feast.
Of course, the holiday celebrates the conclusion of fasting in the month of Ramadan, and I'm sure that that 2-day break was enough time to recharge, right?
For some people.
Recharge your batteries.
For some people, Sha, like we were at work.
No, yeah, true.
Hey,
True.
ma'am, somebody's looking very flowery this morning.
Very. I love that dress you're wearing there, man. I really do love it.
Thank you, Mike. It's a jumpsuit.
It is a
Yeah.
Jumpsuit.
no.
not
Okay,
a
so I was
dress.
talking about it in generic terms. It's a dress, right?
Oh, okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
we'll
you.
just say baths.
You know, it's one of those mornings you wake up and you don't feel like getting out of bed and you just need something, to cheer your mood.
Yeah.
And that's why I have this on.
That's very nice.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we hope that you're recharged and ready to go. It's Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Yomi Ope.
And of course, I'm Mike Mesikeno. We're streaming live at tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Send in your comments with the hashtag on social media, Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, indeed. Now, you can also download our mobile app from any Android or iOS store. And you watch us from anywhere in the world on your mobile device.
Wherever there is internet, that's one important one.
Yeah, so Sotonye Jane Pepple, popularly known as Soti, is an Afro-pop artist and songwriter. And she will be launching, giving us some special flavor this morning. Joining us on Art Display, we have Oladiro Olumide Kola, who is an award-winning painter with several exhibitions below his belt. Now, he is going to be joining us this morning.
And of course, I have some tech updates for you. We're talking something quite interesting today. Isn't it fraud and all of that? Ways that we can curb that menace.
And we love our books on Wake Up Nigeria. That's why we have author Kike Lamon-Mudiaga, who is going to be joining us to talk about her book, And the Storm Came.
Afrocentric, soulful jazz queen Shady Blue is here for a performance. And of course, we will be talking to her after that.
Liking the colors from our performance today. Finally, we have on the show music producer, Gospel on the Beat, who started playing the keyboard at the age of 9. So let's find out what he's been up to these days.
I'm sorry to say you pulled a stunt yesterday.
In fact,
What happened?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about it. I saw it on social media,
You
yeah.
said on social media.
I didn't see it. I just
Yeah.
someone commented.
I
that
saw,
picture?
I checked
saw
Twitter trends and
comments.
say MM.
I
I don't understand.
what did you do? What did you do?
Okay, so what were we even talking about? Oh yeah, we're talking about the Muslim celebrations and then that transcended into the hijab because Mary was wearing her hijab.
Okay.
And Titi was also wearing, her headgear. And well, I had my wig on, of course.
So basically,
I actually took it off on air. Because
You're fine here now. If you had a whole head, that's always a big deal. You're like Team Natural, like you're one of the gang leaders of Team Natural.
Yeah, I know.
So you like beef anybody. Someone wants to join Team Natural. Like you relax that hair, Joe. It's not virgin hair.
so did you get any positive comments from it?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, on my page,
Yeah.
I don't know about TVC Connect
No,
page,
no,
but
the comments on Facebook were,
really on Facebook?
Lots of-
I don't see comments on Facebook.
Yeah, so on the TVC Connect page.
Oh,
on
okay.
Facebook, yeah.
People
lots
didn't
of-
like it.
No, people liked it. People liked it.
Well, on my page, people
A
are
few
coming and
people
saying,
didn't.
"Oh, I like the stunt you actually pulled on, which I think was really nice." I
You
think.
wanna
And
replay it?
no, not today. Today is just one of those days where
Yeah.
you just come, you've psyched yourself up mentally, and
True.
you're like, I'm gonna slay today.
Talking about, like you mentioned, talking about psyching yourself up mentally, I think it's something that a friend of mine who's a doctor had this mini seminar where they spoke about medical depression and ways to, overcome it. It's becoming a much more serious issue. And it's a lot of times also, it's a medical issue. Some of them could be solved by, you have antidepressants, you have drugs like that. So, it was more or less like it's not something that we know so much of around here. So it was more like an awareness. And, they spoke about having, it's a mental thing also, psyching yourself up, ensuring that, okay, hey, you're always at the best possible
Okay, so this actually brings to mind my during my university days, because I did medicine for 4 years before I So the thing is, yes, medical depression, like you said, is real. But because a lot of us back then, I remember some people actually almost committing suicide.
Because of the pressure.
Because of the pressure.
Pressure, yeah.
So in your mind, you do not want to feel your parents, you don't want to feel people around you.
You're right.
So even when you cannot take the pressure anymore, the mental pressure, the physical pressure, you just want to keep pushing yourself. And then you get to that break and you can't take it anymore, and then you begin to fail in your studies, and you have no one else to talk to about these things. And then you resort to something just happens. Maybe you feel a course, you want to go to the top building and fall off. So people need to know that, see, come on, life is not so difficult. Like, it's not that complicated.
I think
so if it gets to that point where you're feeling that much pressure, just relax. Let something. No, we should
one
learn
of the
to
biggest
do that.
challenges that people have basically is the pressure of life, and also making comparisons with others. So when you look at whether it's in school, whether it's, for instance, if you're in secondary school, you're thinking, oh, you don't want others to start the university before you. And then when you get to the university, you don't want people to graduate and leave you behind. And then when you graduate, you don't want people to get a job before you do. And then, so it's a process. And then when you finally get a job, you don't want
to get married before you,
or have kids before you.
My husband was talking about meeting a colleague, an old schoolmate who was really, really terrible. Like, this someone that, when he graduated, he had like many carryovers. And he's a top personnel, like a top director in the customs in the customs, customs. So he's like really, and then when he met him, was like,
this guy too.
You? Do you understand? People, we just need to all have an open mind to these things. Like, you failing in school doesn't mean you can't make it.
Sensitization, much more than before we need it.
Very, very important. I think it's really important that we all, and also always find people that you can encourage, because that's one of the things that's also very important. When you run into people, encourage them to do better. But we do have to go to the news now. Ibrahim is on standby.
All right, we'll start with the news from the police that its Operation Puff Adder, launched on the 5th of April, has been successful. The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, says 2,175 suspects have so far been arrested for kidnapping, armed robbery, murder and cultism. These were the reasons the operation was set up, with the most recent parade of arrested suspects taking place on Monday. The police paraded dozens of kidnapping, gun running and banditry suspects that day. The police boss also said 834 arms, 19,000 live ammunition and 2 rocket launchers have been recovered since the launch of the operation. He is now calling for tougher legislation against kidnapping and banditry, including possible state seizure of assets linked to illicit proceeds from the crimes. The Kano State government has cancelled the annual Salah traditional event. Hawan Nasara was slated for today for security reasons. The governor's spokesman, Amba Anwar, disclosed these in a statement on Wednesday evening. According to the statement, the event was suspended following intelligence reports that security may be breached. After the security meeting between Governor Ganduje and security agencies, the Kano Metropolitan Emirate Council was duly informed about the cancellation. Residents of the state have been advised to go about their regular activities. A significant amount of natural gas produced in Nigeria is still being wasted despite many deadlines set by the federal government to end gas flaring in the country. Added to the loss are the health challenges associated with the natives of oil-producing communities where cancer and other diseases are reportedly endemic. These are some of the issues the Save Ijaw Nation group wants the federal government to address when it embarked on an awareness walk to mark World Environment Day in Yenagoa. Obetumi George has the details.
The Associated Gas Reinjection Act of 1979 set a deadline of 1984 to end gas flaring in Nigeria. But 35 years after, the flame still lights up the sky.
Gas flare will end in this country in 2020, well 10 years ahead of the United Nations set agenda of 2030. So in terms of the environmental exposures, we're working hard at it. Obviously, we need to deal with other environmental issues such as cleanups and the rest, but in terms of the gas flare component of it, we're almost there.
The federal government has shifted the date to 2020 10 years before the United Nations initiative of zero routine flaring in 2030. The Save Ijaw Nation group highlights health concerns while the flaring endures.
This gas flaring has been causing strange sicknesses, diseases in our adults and our youths, our small ones. And if you go to our community today, we are fishermen. That is our source of revenue. And when you go to the river, you will see dark carbons.
I was in Polaku community. I saw the place. It's a complete eyesore. The roofs are stained by these hydrocarbons. And just as we were passing, I never even knew that this thing is even worse at night. It is time for the state government and the federal government to take up this cause.
The World Bank's Global Gas Flaring Reduction Partnership report in 2018 ranks Nigeria second behind Algeria in Africa and the sixth largest gas flaring country in the world.
We have demanded today that gas flaring should stop because already it is illegal. It has reached zero level in places like Canada, US, Netherlands, and all of that. Why here? We are not guinea pigs. And that is why we want the oil companies to put human face in their operation in dealing with our environment and our people. The federal government is also very culpable.
We are also determined to work with every relevant stakeholder in order to advance the well-being of humanity through the environment. We shall also continue to encourage government, private sector, and citizens on the need to galvanizing actions into a collective power that generates an exponential positive impact on the planet.
Cancer and related diseases are endemic in oil-producing communities of the Niger Delta, but worse still, damage to flora and fauna as a result of constant pollution. Ovietime George, TVC News, Yenagoa, Bayelsa State.
In Banki Junction, a trading post about 125 kilometers from the Borno State capital, is a shadow of itself. A once thriving Nigerian border settlement with Cameroon is now dominated by troops. There are no civilians. Defense correspondent Sifon Asin has the details too.
This is what remains of Banki Junction, a once thriving trading post. The settlement in the Bama local council area is a shadow of itself. It is now dominated by troops of the 151 Task Force Battalion of the Nigerian Army. There are no civilians here. Only a handful of taxis ply one of the roads leading to Adamawa State. This is Banki Junction, and the road here leads to Banki, a Nigerian border town with Cameroon. We're told that it's a no-go area for civilians for now. Banki town was recaptured by the troops in September 2015. The security situation is fluid along this strait that borders the Sambisa forest. We joined the troops several kilometers into the Sambisa. This part of the Sambisa forest is close to the Banki Junction. It has become a shooting range for the Nigerian army. We gathered that insurgents attempted to overrun the troops in December 2018 but failed. The area is under the heavy watch of the troops with tanks stationed at several points.
You cannot allow anything to perturb you or disturb you, is that clear? Yes, sir. Good to go! Good to go!
This forum affords the troops the opportunity to air their views on the counter-insurgency operations within their area of responsibility.
I want to urge you not to rest on your oars because the existing and even emerging security threats are potent.
While the troops hold their positions, there is need to rebuild the once thriving trade route to pave way for life to return. Sifon Asin, TVC News, Banki Junction.
Well, that's the news update for this hour. Weather update is up next.
We are looking at the newspaper headlines this Thursday morning, starting with the Punch. Presidency meets power firms over electricity crisis, says German government to assist with distribution projects. And Oshomole versus Oyegun, APC state chairman seek Buhari's intervention, may meet before Monday. Makinde gives Ajimobi's aide 48 hours to return government vehicles. And Akeredolu sacks 9 permanent secretaries, affected officers kick. And Gbajabiamila not guilty of perjury and has never been convicted, says campaign team. And a couple of other stories over here at the bottom. 25,000 killed in violent crisis during Buhari's first term, says the report. And we arrested over 2,000 suspected kidnappers, others in 2 months, says the IG. And I'll hand over to another PDP governor, Dixon boasts in Bayelsa. That's what we have on the cover of The Punch. Up next, we've got The Guardian here. And The Guardian has the headline, Nigeria's yearly stolen fund worth 62% of 2019 budget. Wow. Analysts propose ways to stop illicit financial flows. And IGP seeks stiffer laws against kidnapping, banditry, others. And who the cap fits, Nigeria's best education minister in 20 years. There's a special report there on page 38. And FSARS brutalizes, threatens to kill journalists in rivers. And Christians allege ethno-religious cleansing in Kaduna, petition Trump. And don't politicize security challenges, government tells group. And some other stories here. PDP Reps Caucus denies endorsing Gbajabiamila's speakership bid. And 4 feared dead in Taraba Bauchi clashes. That's what we have on the cover of The Guardian. And up next, we've got The Vanguard. The Vanguard here talks about insecurity. Danjuma, Lekwot. Others take Nigeria's case to UK. Asemota, Dogonyaro, Onigbogu, and others join the delegation. Buhari fighting jihad. Christian elders tell UK Parliament. And stronger laws needed to tackle crimes, says IGP Adamu. And Deputy Senate leadership, APC yet to zone position to South-South, says caucus. And security, Okowa Obaseki meets in Asaba, chart common front. And insecurity won't stop rice production, says farmers. And up here, we've got why militants put off declaration of Niger Delta Republic on June 1st, and how decision to prosecute Tinubu at CCT was taken, ex-AGF Adoke. And 2019 UTME, no cutoff marks yet, says JAMB. And Olowo Stool, don't allow repeat of 1999 bloodbath. Community leaders warns. And that's what we have on the cover of The Vanguard. And over here, we've got The Nation. And The Nation has the headline, Assets, CCB to probe Mark Odua, Uzodimma, others, and Ebonyi Rec official under investigation for alleged bribery. And community worried over water, air pollution, health hazards. And we've got a photograph on the cover of The Nation there on World Environment Day, and a dead fish from the water around the community being displayed by protesting indigenes of Polobubo in Warri North Council of Delta State. Gbajabiamila's camp defends his integrity. That's a story you find on page 8 on the cover of The Nation. And 20 inmates rescued as your police raid shrine. And Forex window yields $48 billion inflow. No cut-off marks yet for 2019 UTME, says JAMB. And Senate President, block votes unlikely as PDP senators split. And Swiss government sues Nigeria over detained vessel and crew. And that's what we've got on the cover of The Nation. I think we have time for just one more here. The Nigerian Tribune and the headline, Battle for Reps Speakership Hots Up. Okadigbo Group supports Mwajuba and a couple of other writers there. Police arrest Islamic cleric, rescue 20 inmates in Ibadan. 1 killed, many injured in Bauchi clash. And 9 out of 10 persons breathe polluted air, says United Nations. And over on the top here of the Nigerian Tribune, GenCo's released 4,122 megawatts of electricity on Tuesday, says report. That's what we've got on the cover of the Nigerian Tribune. We do have to take a break now after the newspaper headlines. And when we get back, it's going to be traffic situation here in Lagos with MM.
Hello there, it's Wake Up Nigeria, and of course it's that time of the morning on the show where we bring you traffic updates around Lagos. And please note that you can always be a part of this segment by sending us a message on all of our social media platforms. We'd like to hear what the traffic situation where you are is like, or better still, take a traffic selfie. Would love that as well. All right, so of course my gang is in the kitchen, my boys, my guys, my main man in the kitchen, and we're gonna be doing this together this morning. All right, so yeah, Mike, it's my turn. Thank you very much. All right, so I'm going to be taking the traffic up, checking our traffic situation for those in the Ajah area of Lagos State this morning. It's funny how the main road that is at Ajah is free, but the inner streets, of Ajah, there's quite traffic. Whatever's causing that traffic, though, I wouldn't know. But there's traffic inward of Ajah. But if you are on your way out of Ajah this morning, it's actually free flowing. But there are bits of traffic, like light pockets of traffic on some areas along the Ajah routes. But heading to the Lekki Conservation Center, I see that it is tight going inwards of Lekki Conservation, but outwards, it's actually free. So all the way to the Lekki Phase 1 is quite free, but if you're going in to Ajah this morning, there are pockets of traffic in some areas on that road. So the Lekki Phase 1 axis actually is quite free this morning, surprisingly. Yeah, after that long holiday, work has begun. Yes, and so yeah, the inward of Admiralty Way, for some people who'll be taking alternative, who'll be using the Admiralty Way as an alternative route this morning, it's quite free. And if you're on your way out of, let's say you're going towards Victoria Island, there are pockets of traffic, of course, in some areas, but it's not so serious, it's not so tight. All right, so at this point, guys, do we have any traffic updates on the Third Mainland Bridge?
It's your turn, no? You will do that traffic.
Third Mainland Bridge, let me see what we've got here.
Okay.
I had wanted to take a few tweets first.
Yeah, tweets fine.
Okay, so let me check out the tweets here. Giddy traffic.
Okay.
Abule Egba to Yanapaja, good to go at the moment. That's 3 minutes ago. 3 minutes ago. And also, at 6:23 a.m., that's about 10 minutes ago, moving traffic at Cement. And then it gives a piece of advice there. Take it easy as you drive. So moving traffic, there's traffic, but it's moving. That's at Cement area. And we've have a bunch of updates, but I think that's too long ago now. It was about 6 a.m.
All right.
So things would have changed definitely because traffic in the mornings are usually quite fluid.
Yes, so finally, traffic. I have some updates on traffic on the Third Mainland Bridge this morning. It ain't funny, guys. It ain't funny. It's pretty tight.
Third Mainland Bridge, wow.
Yeah, like
definitely.
very, very tight. Of course, which is expected this morning, like I said. Everyone's resuming work today.
Yeah.
The traffic is really, really, really tight. But then let's check out the traffic situation on the Ikorodu Road because we're here to please you. So we're giving you updates on areas in Lagos. So wait, no, come on, Mike. If traffic is this tight on Third Mainland Bridge, let's check out Ikorodu Road. We need to help people out there who are watching our show. That's the idea. But if you have any updates yet, you guys, let us know on social media.
This one here, there's something I have here. Cathedral on Route Falomo. Currently good to go. This is at NG Car Parts. This was just about 3 minutes ago. And then about a few seconds ago, Mile 2 to Orile is currently good to go. This is both of them from at NG Car Parts.
All right, so I said I was going to update you on the traffic updates, on the traffic situation on Echo Bridge. Yeah, it is
Is
tight
Ikorodu Road,
as
you say
well.
it's not Echo Bridge?
Yeah,
It's
Echo Bridge.
Ikorodu Road now. It's not in the move to Echo Bridge.
Hey, Mike, Ikorodu Road leads to Echo Bridge. So, yeah, it's the Echo Bridge itself, actually, at this point right now, it is very, very, very tight. There's traffic on that bridge at this moment, but not as tight as it is on Third Mainland Bridge. So, well, it could be, it's not bad. All right, but the Ikmonri route at this moment, pockets of traffic here and there, but it's quite free. Any more updates on social media, guys?
Ikorodu Road is not so bad. I'm just trying to make a comparison with what it looks like on
Third Mainland.
on the Third Mainland Bridge, but yeah, so it's not so bad. So just pockets of traffic in different locations. Maryland, Palm Grove.
Yeah, Maryland is free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maryland is a bit
Obanikoro
slightly, yeah.
is quite free at this time. And, there are pockets of traffic here and there. You're
Yeah,
very
so pockets of
right.
traffic until, so when you get to, of course, it's a bit tight when you get to
Hey,
Jibo
Onikpan
and
is
all of that.
tight.
Yeah.
I mean, like, tight. But hey, I really hope we've been able to help you out this morning with the traffic situation around Lagos. It's time for us to gist. So, guys, what are we talking about?
Okay, someone came into my inbox. I just want to talk about
Someone came into your inbox.
social media etiquette. You know, we live in an age of social media. I mean, social media drives the world. It is, I mean, it was unheard of when you could stand and, I mean, could you talk to someone miles away, worlds away, continents apart, and all that? Hey, man, you're welcome.
Hey, guys, yeah.
So,
But now it's easy.
yeah, I could talk to Beyonce if she wanted to. If she wanted to open her DM and see my
Talking about
message.
Beyonce, she ain't following anyone, so.
Yeah, that's our way now. Woman is too big, raga. Okay, so this guy, so this guy comes. Okay, before I go into what someone came to say in my inbox, something out there. Okay, no, let me start with the story. So he goes into my inbox and he sends a message, and the first message he comes in like, okay, blah 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 blah. Your surname. I was in school with someone who had your surname, and apparently she's my cousin, which I know. And then he calls her name and I'm like, okay. So when I saw your surname on social media, I was excited. I was like, okay, hey. So after just maybe 30 minutes, he doesn't get a reply. I've not even seen it because now normally I don't follow him. So when he sends a tweet, when he sends a DM, I have to accept first. I've not accepted it. Next he just says, it says the next message, say, don't you know it is rude to read message and not reply? See, I'm not.
On your, like, via DM,
Yes,
right?
yes. So I'm not the
social
most
media,
I'm not the most
great.
behaved person here. I know I can be rude here, but on that point, really my DM. So I look at it's just like 30 minutes in between, and this was like Saturday, and I was seeing it on Wednesday. I say I was not so sure in my own DM. Just say good evening,
so
sir.
they're taking a few days.
So me I just wrote good evening, sir. He said I said good evening, sir. Yes, probably I know the person you're talking about. Don't you think that you're a bit too presumptuous to stand up and decide that I've read my this thing and then reply in this provocative manner? See,
So-
you should give me benefit of doubt. I was very nice about
Did he
it.
respond to that?
I not even responded. I said, okay. But yes, that person you spoke about is my cousin. So that made me go, social
I
media
wouldn't even
etiquette.
dignify that with a
See,
reply.
you know what happens?
Yeah.
I've sent a lot of DMs to people. People have sent DMs to me. You see, first of all, you send a DM. Nobody has the responsibility to even reply to you. It's not by
Exactly.
force. Or guys, somebody's DM. The worst one is when you come and you send hi. I mean, like, so generally, this is something that should help everybody there. I've sent DMs. I still send DMs to people that I've not read. You don't go and say hi and then you wait for a response, especially either WhatsApp or somewhere. Very simple. First of all, hello, hi, good afternoon. My name is da 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 da. I am da 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 da. I want da 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 da. Send that. Don't send hi or hello and wait for a
And then,
response.
wait for a response and then
you
get upset when
probably
the person
get
doesn't
upset.
respond.
You will probably not get a response that way, especially if you're sending to maybe a celebrity or somebody, you know, you just say hi. really, hello, who are you?
No, serious. I totally agree. Even with it's the same thing with email etiquette, because you know before now,
Exactly.
before DMs there was email,
Emails.
and if you needed to send an email to someone who you didn't know, it was important that you stated very clearly
What you want.
You understand? So, in fact, what they one of the etiquettes was you don't spend too much time asking about their family. You know how, dear MM. Now you've never met MM before, dear MM. How is work? I hope all is well. How's your family? Just go straight to the point.
to the
right?
point.
So, dear MM, my name is so and so.
Exactly. Introduce yourself.
I am writing to seek your help
Your help with
regarding
something.
whatever it is. So just go straight to the point. So there's no need for you to start famsing.
I mean, I'm telling you, man,
In
you get more answer that way. I've tried it personally. You go straight to the point. Don't start thinking that when you ask about have you eaten today, will you send me food if I've not eaten? You understand?
Okay,
just go straight to it.
this actually reminds me of, I was having a conversation with a male friend yesterday, and I think he just got a message that actually really shocked him. And, okay, so the message, so someone reached out to him and says, GM, sir. Like, good morning, sir. That's what she meant to say.
Yeah.
So GM, sir.
I thought general manager.
General manager. I understand.
GM, sir. I hope you are doing well. And he goes, hello, yes, I am. Sorry, who's this? And then next thing he sees is a picture of herself, like a really nice picture of herself, reminding him that, oh yeah, so you actually
Met me
came.
before.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we met at the barbing salon where I work, and you tipped me, you know. And then he goes, oh, okay, well, I don't remember, but okay, hello, hi. How are you doing? And she goes, oh yes, so I would like you to help me with a job. Okay, and then he asks, okay, what did you study? And she goes, mass comm. I'm like, mass comm. What's mass comm? Mass comm is not a course. Mass communication, like you want somebody to take you responsibly, or you want someone to take you seriously.
Mass comm is okay now.
Mass comm, what's mass comm?
Mass comm is okay.
Oh my God.
You don't even want to know how to spell that mass comm.
Is it mathematics? Mathematics.
No, I'm just saying that. I mean, so like they say, respect is reciprocal, and it's a 50-50 thing. So you know, no, I'm serious. I'm serious. You want me to help you out with something, especially when you're reaching out to someone of, you know, a high status or a certain status. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Who wants to help you with a job? And then you're coming mass comm. Like,
No, it's the way you're used to.
Excuse
so
me.
Even GM is even cool, Seb. GM. What if someone comes AM?
what's
sir?
AM? What's AM?
That one is even worse. So AM
GM.
wants to be
A good AM.
a good AM.
Good AM. What?
See, I will conk you. Good AM. Are you okay? If you say GM, at least I know it's initials of good morning.
Yeah.
When you say AM is anti-meridian, what concerns me with good anti-meridian? Oga, don't you know your...
Do you know what I think? Do you know what I think we should do? I think we should talk about these kinds of etiquette.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have best practices.
Yeah, best
Something
practices.
like that. So we'll put it on your screen and also on social media so that you'll
Right.
also understand what the do's and don'ts. Especially, look, if all you're trying to do is just get fresh with someone, that's your business. But if you're trying to get a job, or you're trying to get some help or some kind of sponsorship, whatever it is, there is an etiquette that you follow that will get you
And
the
if you
best
don't
kind of
know,
responses.
Google it.
Yeah.
You have all of this information online. I mean, just Google, because self-development is key. No, you don't have to wait for you to be taught. Sometimes you have to go online where these informations are readily there to help yourself, to develop yourself. Good morning, good AM, GM.
Good AM.
What?
Mass comm is okay.
Mass comm is not okay. Mass comm is not okay.
Yeah, so spell it out. I
studied mass communication in this university.
Exactly.
I hold a BSc in this course in this university. Don't come and tell me mass comm. What's mass comm? Excuse me.
You know you could have... Maybe she wants to, you know, when you have hopes, like, she might be speaking faith, so, you know.
Speaking what?
Anyways, so good AM to everyone out there. It's not 7 o'clock yet, so good AM to you as we take a break and come back very shortly.
Good AM.
Yep, it's really quite interesting and funny how time goes by when you are having loads of fun. But then an hour's gone by. An hour's gone by.
So quickly.
So quickly, yeah.
Well, that's how it is on the show. You know, when you're having fun, it just goes. Well, right. So now that we're saying that your battery are really charged, we're saying don't worry. If you didn't join us from the start, we still have an hour and 45 minutes to go.
So get ready as the second hour starts right now. My name is Mike Messikeno.
And I'm Yomi Ope. We're streaming live as well at tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook. Check us out at TVC Connect. And send in your comments across social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria.
You can also download the app. It is available on the Apple and Android iOS stores. The app allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world with your internet, of course.
Yeah. Now, of course, as usual on every show, we have a chef for you.
She's somewhere around. She's somewhere around. While I'm is chilling, but I can see her. She's around. She'll be getting into the kitchen quite soon.
In a bit.
Chef Wumi,
Don't
right?
forget that the holidays are over, so traffic.
Oh yeah, so traffic is back on our road.
But Chef Wumi, I always feel Chef Wumi is always on point. She's going to drop something.
She'll be
for us
here in
today.
no time.
Yeah.
Very soon.
Of course.
Looking forward to it. Anyway, Sotonye Jane Pepple, popularly known as Soti, will be giving us a musical performance on the show shortly.
And still to come, we have Oladino Olumide Kola, who is an award-winning painter with several exhibitions behind his belt, showing us some of his finest works.
And of course, Mike will be keeping us updated in the world of tech very shortly. We've got, of course, you know we love our books here on the show.
Yeah.
And we have author Kikelomo Mudiaga, who is going to be joining us to talk about a special book. Now, this book is really, really emotional.
The Storm Came.
And The Storm Came. That's the title of the book.
And
she'll be telling us why she wrote it and, you know, looking at all the things that she's been
triumphing over trying times.
Yeah.
I like that. And then, of course, Afrocentric soulful jazz queen Shady Blue is going to be here for a performance, and we'll talk to her after that. And then finally on the show, we have music producer Gospel on the Beats, who started playing the keyboard at the age of 9. We're going to take a look at what he's been up to all this while.
So good AM to
good AM.
Okay, so I know a few days ago, Forbes mentioned that Jay-Z was like the richest billionaire in the music industry, and one of the top billionaires in the world, basically.
Especially, you know, for hip-hop.
For hip-hop. And then so there's a conversation that's going online, and people have been saying that, making reference to it, that, oh, Jay-Z's a billionaire, he doesn't have a degree, no qualifications, he's a billionaire, And, you know, it's for the question.
Okay.
Because there was also that conversation about, you know, it's important to have good education. You know, it's important that, you know, you have a degree. And now the question is, I'd like to ask you guys, do you think having a degree or having some level of education gives you access to opportunities in this country?
If you live in Africa, get an education. Because look, when you talk about opportunities are few and far apart. Things are very, very competitive. Resources are very limited in a place like Africa. So having an education, a master's degree or an MBA just gives you an edge above others. That's what I think.
Okay, so I'm going to quote someone, very, very wise young man, John Obidi, something he normally says, and I fully agree with it. Draw your ear. Though you see you are staying with all those ignorant people like you. Draw your ear. American passport can be worth more than even degree served in Africa as it stands. If you live in this region of the world, as a Nigerian, do your best. If it's not possible and you have other alternatives, okay, you try and get whatever knowledge you can and all of that by the side. But if you can, do get an education. It is extremely, get a degree. If you can go forward, get a master's, because, like Yomi said, it will give you an edge. This is not America. This is Nigeria.
Yeah, but then,
don't use your head. So, so you can't say Bill Gates dropped out.
So yes,
wait. A dropout from Harvard and MBA is more than doctorates in Uniben. Use your brain. Don't go at it.
School, man.
As much as
Okay,
I
now.
agree
Yeah.
with the both of you,
All right.
someone watching this is also saying, but there are people who have master's degree, who have PhDs, and who do not have jobs, or who are not successful,
Very true.
or who are not rich.
You just sometimes when you say get an MBA or get a master's degree, we're not saying use it to get a job.
Yeah.
We're just saying use it
gives
to
you an
increase
edge.
your opportunities
At least you're 18. You don't
and
know
expand
that.
your knowledge
Yes,
and
now.
all of that. You know, so you just never know.
Use your brain. Oh.
Right here in the kitchen with me this morning is Chef Wumi of Wumi Cakes. But this morning we're not baking. Yes.
baking, no. I love food.
She's cooking, and she's cooking something very interesting, very native, like our own thing. We own this one proudly.
Proudly Nigerian.
Yes. So this morning we are making cocoyam with garden egg sauce. I told you it's our own. So let's talk about the ingredients we're working with this morning.
Okay. First is the major garden
Garden
egg.
egg, which is the major ingredients.
Yes, and it's white garden egg.
Okay.
I prefer to use the white garden egg.
Why?
Because it has this calm taste. It's not as bitter
as the green one. Okay.
So I like this. I prefer to
Okay.
use this. Then maybe because of the big nature, I like it when it's big. You know, whenever I go to the market and I have to buy tomato, recently there has been scarcity of tomatoes.
Yes,
so I love picking the big ones, even though it's more expensive than the tiny ones. But I still prefer it because it looks fresh.
Oh yeah.
So that's one of my own second reason.
Okay.
So we have the garden egg, then we have our pepper. Now I prefer to use green.
I noticed
as
the
well
ayamase type of.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the red, I prefer to mix green pepper with red pepper.
No special reason.
Basically, when I was in Cotonou, when I was staying there, there's actually a particular stew or sauce that the Beninois, we call the Beninois, that they make without them having the green.
Oh.
And aside that they cook it, they also drop it raw.
In the food.
In the food.
Yeah.
And because they believe it gives it this special aroma and taste. So,
nice.
and truly when you cook with it, it has this nice flavor that it gives you that is different from the red pepper,
okay.
you understand? So I'm mixing the two together. Then we have onions. And you know onions still has its own flavor too. That's
I see
we're
we're using a lot of onions this morning.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have fish.
Of course.
With little
Pomo.
pomo
Yeah.
and the cocoyam. Then definitely we'll be mixing little spices into it.
So for the cocoyam, what exactly are we doing? Are we boiling it? Are we frying it?
We boil it.
Okay.
You just peel and boil just like you are boiling the regular yam.
Okay.
You know, most time people tend to fry this. That's what they call them. Is it pekere?
Yeah, pekere.
Pekere.
Is it pekere? I don't know. But I know
There's
she's
this
crunchy though. Cocoyam chips.
Chips, yes.
Yeah.
So most time people tend to fry it, but did they actually taste the boiled one? I was like,
It's actually really nice.
Very
I have
nice.
never tasted boiled cocoyam before, so I'm really looking forward to, how this is gonna taste. Yeah, but amazingly, cocoyam actually has even a lot more nutritional values than yam or potatoes.
Yes.
Very, very healthy. And whoever thought that cocoyam could actually help with menstrual cramps? Imagine that. Imagine that.
It's not as expensive as we have the yam. No,
Right.
yam is quite expensive.
Yes, but cocoyams are not that expensive.
And you get it at the local market, even on the street. You see all these local women sell it, and it doesn't get spoiled easily. It can stay in the kitchen for a while.
The
you
only
can have
time that we use cocoyam in my house is when we are making ikpan koko. Yeah, ikpan koko. So I'm really looking forward. So let's get cooking, right?
Okay, we're starting with the
garden egg.
Yes, boiling it first.
Okay. Garden egg itself has a lot of health benefits, which we're going to talk about later because, we're going to boil that, yeah?
Yes, to soften it for me.
The first time I cooked garden egg sauce, did I boil the what? Boil the garden egg? I don't remember. Someone behind the camera is laughing and is like, what? I don't remember, but now that Chef Wumi is here, you boil your garden egg. You don't just put it there.
No, it's not to soften it.
Yeah,
sometimes when you boil, Well, for me, I like my life being easy.
Yeah.
So most times when I boil and it's a bit soft, I just pour it into the blender and I blend with the pepper. You understand?
Okay.
So everything mixed together.
Okay.
But some people can actually mash it with a...
Oh, really?
Yes.
When after boiling it?
Yes.
Oh,
For those who
okay.
don't have blender, you can actually match it with all these mini mortar.
Mortar. Yeah,
Yes.
but that way it's not as smooth as it would be if you blend it.
It will be just like you're pounding yam. You know, when you pound yam, it will be smooth. Same thing goes with this
Grander.
yes,
stone
the stone grinder.
grinder, yeah.
You know, there is a state at which you grind it. It will,
it will
will
be really
blend.
smooth,
It will
yeah.
be very smooth. So it depends on how patient you can be with it.
Okay.
You
So how
understand?
long are we boiling that for?
Just for a few minutes, maybe less than 5 minutes or thereabouts. So long, you know, this you can't really decide how hot it will be.
Okay.
So once it's soft.
So yeah, once it's
and,
soft actually. Okay, so you have to keep checking with the fork, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Even by the time it's soft, you will see the body
Oh,
so
it would
tender.
shrink.
Yes, to be very tender.
Oh,
So
okay.
you know it's very soft. Just pour into the blender and we blend.
Okay.
Then we make our sauce very easy. Then we boil the
So
yam.
for the sauce, let's try to explain the process for making the sauce. Are we making use of palm oil or vegetable oil?
Very groundnut oil.
Vegetable
That's,
oil.
vegetable
Oh,
oil.
really?
Yes.
Oh, that's new.
I love cooking with groundnut oil actually.
Oh.
Personally.
Oh.
Personally.
Okay. All right.
Personally.
Great
I
stuff
like
happening
eating and having
here.
my plate looking clean, not the red.
Right. Great stuff happening here on the show. Wake Up Nigeria, of course, here in the kitchen with me, Chef Wumi. And this morning we are making cocoa yam and garden egg sauce. But guys, we got to take a break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Thank you.
All right, so we're over here in the garden where we've got some special art display taking place with a very special guy. Now, he is an award-winning artist, and his name is Oladiran Olumide, and he's joining us this morning. Good to have you, sir. So all the stuff I'm seeing here in the garden is absolutely amazing. I love the colors. I love some of the mixed media that you use for some of your art. And okay, so we're going to do this very quickly, and you'll go over some of the work that you've done, and then we'll talk about some of the books that you've published as well. So you're now a published author of children's books. Now, this artwork here, I'm seeing this is beyond just painting. So talk to us about this.
Thank you very much. This is my artwork. The title of this is Africa, Our Heritage.
Africa, Our Heritage.
Our Heritage. Actually, we in Nigeria we need to actually not forget about our heritage, you know, because a lot of and this thing is supposed to show in all our works. What we can see there, I've used a lot of African motifs to bring out the colors, the different grain.
I'm wondering about this material that you used here. Is this is this canvas? Is the
yes,
root of this?
It's canvas, but beyond the canvas, because sometimes it's not good to use plain material. A lot of artists have been using plain material, so I use special materials here to be able to bring out the points. Yeah, and if you see all of the circles there, there's different types of African motifs to bring out their culture. So and use different colors for it. Yeah.
Wow! So this is Africa, My Heritage, and over here we've got. We've got another one.
I call this expectation.
Expectation.
Yes.
I can see her looking into the future.
Yeah, it's expectation. You know, women have a lot of expectation, especially in marriages, in before they get married, and a lot of things. So you can see the woman looking at, you know, expecting a lot of things, maybe before they get married, after they get married, and all of that. So that is. And I use a lot of different motifs. I mean,
different motifs and different colors.
Different
I can
colors
see.
to bring out.
And this is a bit. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is a bit Picasso type. With the way you brought out some of the colors and
everybody
the different elements of it.
Yeah, different. Everybody has different styles.
Yes.
Yeah, this is my own style. You can see the background. I use different textural pieces to bring out the colors. You know.
Because it's one of the things. That's one of the unique things about some of your paintings. The texture. Because when you touch it, it actually feels.
You can feel it.
That is rough. You know, like
exactly.
I like it. And the gele also it looks like very nice. Now this this is obviously somewhere in Lagos.
Yes, I call this one Lagos Life.
Lagos Life.
Yeah, it shows different activities that happens in Lagos. You know, Lagos is a very busy area. you know, different activities, marketing, women. It's such an interesting environment. So artists have a way of bringing out what is happening in the society on the canvas, and that's what I've just done. On
That's very good. Then over here we've got some abstract paintings.
Yes, abstract painting.
That will.
This one is called.
Just step over here.
Yeah. Okay.
So here. So
I call this one Three Jolly Friends.
Three Jolly Friends.
Yeah. Over the years, I've been in the teaching line dealing with children, and this work inspired me from my experiences in teaching children about works of art. Actually, children artworks are the same all over the world. The way Nigerian children draw is the same, they draw all over the world. So in my experience in teaching, I've been able to see how these little children, you know, genuinely draws. And I try to bring out something like this from them. You know, There are three jolly friends. You can see that is how the children would draw. But we have a mature way of bringing children's artworks out of this.
Then so you brought it out as well. Then this one. This one is also an African type of
yes, we call this. I call this one Water of Life. You know, without mentioning which is palm wine, you can see that there is a lot of palm trees at the back.
Yeah, so palm fronds and then also the calabash
yes,
as well.
So this is a kind of art that brings the life of African water that we can drinkable. Okay, so that is what this one is all
Then
about.
of course we have this final, very abstract.
Yeah.
And then also the texture of this one is absolutely amazing.
Very, very amazing.
I'm sure that those watching at home can see it.
Yeah. I bring out different, this is untitled. You know, some artworks, you don't purposely give it title because the eventual buyer will be able to give it a title. Some artworks, when you give it a title, you be able to dislodge the inspiration behind it. But I leave this one untitled so that everybody will be able to see it and bring out something from
I like the vibrancy of the color.
Yeah, thanks so much.
In fact, I can start interpreting myself. You know, the
exactly.
water representing the sea,
that's the purpose of the work
yellow
itself.
Representing the sun. It's just absolutely beautiful. Let's go over here.
Thanks so
and
much.
As we round off, you know, you're also an author. I know that you've taught children for many years.
Yeah.
And you're also an author of the Icon Color series.
Yes.
And you can see them over here. They're for pre-nursery.
For
kids to at least start learning how to be like.
Actually, art is a way of letting children bring out their creativity. You know, as a practicing artist, I also use my talent to bring out the creativity from the children. Over the years that I've taught in many schools, international schools, after that I thought of what other schools that might not be opportune to teach, they can use my books, and that is what I've done.
Wow, absolutely amazing. Thank you so
I
much.
have over 10 series of this.
Over 10 series, very nice. That's by Oladiran Olamide. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, sir.
You're welcome.
Absolutely amazing paintings. You're so talented. Many awards you won.
Thanks
and
so
hopefully
much.
you join us again when you have a new collection coming
Thanks
up.
so much.
All right, so we're heading over to the studio now where we've got...
All right, welcome back. It's Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. And of course, we're here in the kitchen with Chef Wumi of Wumi Cakes. And this morning, guys, we are making cocoyam and garden egg sauce. And as you can see, our garden egg is blended and ready to go, yeah? So quickly, let's talk about the ingredients for our garden egg sauce.
Okay. So we actually work with white garden egg.
Yeah.
So we make use of two species of pepper, the ripe and the unripe one, with a lot of onions.
Okay.
So we have fish, then we have pomo as well, just to make the sauce. You know, definitely when you are eating sauce, you want to have something to eat inside.
Yeah, and of course we have our cocoyam, which is
fire.
cooking already. But let's quickly, get to our garden egg sauce so that people can, see how it's actually made. Great.
Okay. So.
All right. Sorry guys, in here we have our green pepper, we have our red pepper, we have our garden egg, white garden egg, which already has been boiled till it's soft, and then we put it in here and then we, blended it to a grind. And as you can see here, trying to open this. Oh, nice. All right, look at that.
It's a mixture.
Yeah. Very, very nice. All right. So right now we are going to heat up our pan and then pour in our vegetable oil, right?
Vegetable oil, yes.
Okay. So you could use vegetable oil, you could use palm oil, depends on what kind of oil that you'd like to use. Earlier on, I told you I was going to give you on some tips on health benefits of our garden egg and cocoyam. Funny enough, they actually have very similar health benefits. They are good for your immune system. They help to boost it because they are very high in antioxidants. Also, they are very good for blood pressure. They help to maintain your blood pressure, your heart health as well. So we are ready, right?
I think you should be a dietitian.
Ah, great. Let's
so
start.
We have the oil. Fire just
already?
a little bit of
okay.
onion.
Yeah, and then we forgot to tell them that we added onions to our blend here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we just want to warm the granite oil.
Yeah.
Make it hot.
Make it hot. And then we're just going to toss this in. So this is a quick, very easy, quick recipe, right?
Very, very fast.
Yeah.
Once this is ready, you have your cocoyam ready, then you are done. Your breakfast is very ready.
And it's actually very short. This is one of the healthiest options for diabetic patients because cocoyams and garden eggs are very healthy for diabetic patients. So if you're having diabetes, this is a really good option for you. Very, very healthy option. Yeah. All right. So is that hot enough?
Slightly warm though.
Okay.
It's coming up though.
Okay. So once we toss it in, when do we know our garden egg is ready?
Basically, once the sauce is ready, you can perceive it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's just like you are cooking normal pepper because now we've actually mixed it, but you are very aware that we have garden egg inside.
Garden egg in it, okay.
So it's just like you're making sauce.
Okay. Yeah, but so you have to keep like tasting to be, check the taste. whilst it's cooking, right?
Yes.
All right.
And you can use this sauce to eat rice. It doesn't have to be...
yeah, cocoyam, right? You could use yam.
Yes, you can't just limit it to cocoyam because we're making it with cocoyam this morning. It's a sauce, like...
Yeah, so you could basically do anything. Yeah. Bread and garden egg sauce. Well, that's one thing I'm not going to try anytime.
I actually went to boarding school, so we try a lot of
food mix.
Right.
I can imagine. Okay. Our oil is not hot yet. Right?
It's okay.
Okay.
To come up.
So we're just going to wait for that to cook and make sure all of that water drains out from the garden egg and the pepper.
Fish and everything.
Okay. And then our fish and pomo goes in last.
Yes.
Yes. And yes, I just found out this morning, as much as I'm not a fan of garden eggs, actually they're healthy option for pregnant women because they're very high in folic acid. Yeah.
So you have to start taking it henceforth.
Yeah, right. But of course I have, even if I can't eat it, I could make it into a sauce like you're teaching us this morning, which I'm definitely going to try out. Oh, great. Amazing stuff happening here in the kitchen. Super excited. I hope you are. So there's more on the show, people. Earlier when you saw Shady Blue perform, next up, she is with Mike on the sofa. Hi, guys.
Why are you so excited there, ma'am?
I don't understand.
Okay, of course, I've got Afrocentric soulful jazz queen Shady Blue, and of course, she's back after a short while away from the scene with that single she performed earlier, Better Without You, from her yet-to-be-released album, My Way. It's great to have you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Better Without You. When I heard the song, I just said Nigerian Adele. That was what, because of the theme of the song, she does a lot of relationships, kind of, breakups, kind of, and all of that. But Better Without You, I mean, from the name, we can already get the idea. Can you tell us about the inspiration behind that song?
It's basically about going through a relationship and it breaks, and after a certain while, when the person, woman or man, is getting stronger, they actually realize they're actually better without that person. Yeah. So
is this from a personal experience?
Not really.
What has everybody has gone through that experience?
Yeah.
At one time or the other. So okay, so putting all of this together, you have an album coming up, My Way.
Yes.
The whole album. Can you talk to us about the album? What kind of songs are inside, and what are you trying to pass with that album? What's the message you're trying to pass?
Okay. My background is actually jazz. I'm a jazz singer.
Okay. I felt that in the song. The slow and all that.
But the album is gonna gonna have a fusion of everything, but every song is gonna have a hint of Afro sound, African sound, because I'm coming back to my roots and bringing that and fusing it into different types of and styles of music. So everyone is gonna have something on my album.
When are we expecting the album? When is it dropping?
It's gonna be this year. I'm still waiting for a date. If it was left to me, I would have released it yesterday.
Okay.
However, I'm still waiting.
How many tracks do you have in the album?
And if it was left to me as well, I'll probably give about 20 tracks because I've got up to that.
Okay.
But I've been told to give less because it's a little bit too much for an album. I'm not too sure. I think that's how they do it now. My last album had 20 tracks on it.
Your last one had 20 tracks.
Yeah.
That's quite something. So apart from music, I know you're involved as you are an entrepreneur. You do other things. Can we talk about other things you do apart from music?
I have a day job. When you live in the UK, you need to have a day job. Music is my addiction. Music is like a drug to me. So I think I actually work to spend on music at the moment. So my day job is I'm a program manager in ICT.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
And I also have my own label. I make jeans for curvy ladies.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
So how do you combine having a day job and doing music by the side? If it's Nigeria, at times, we can skip job, but over there, it's not so easy. You have to be up and doing your job. How do you combine both of them?
It's not even both. I'm also a mother of 2 as well.
That's a superwoman there.
So I don't sleep. I don't need sleep. I believe to be successful, you need a couple of hours sleep, but I think sleep is overrated.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't
you only
think
need a couple of hours sleep a day.
we differ on that one.
My team members tell me off all the time that you need to rest.
You need
to rest before you break down. But I think it's the grace of God. Yeah.
Okay,
really.
so you put all of this together, and no one suffers. None of this different.
No, I'm able to balance things out.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're working in the UK and all that. So are you in Nigeria to promote your music? What are you here for at this point
I'm in
time?
Nigeria to create an awareness of who Shady Blue is.
Okay.
I've been around from way back. I don't know if you know this.
Okay.
I used to be a part of a group back in the day.
Yeah, I know you were in
JJC and 419 Squad.
Okay.
So I'm coming back. I took some time out for my kids to be a little bit older, and then I'm coming back into the music.
How long were you with JJC and 419 Squad?
About 4 years. Yes, yeah.
How are your experiences there? What are your best experiences working with JJC and 419?
JJC is an amazing producer. So is Don Jazzy. Don Jazzy, I see him as the Nigerian Timbaland.
Timbaland, exactly.
Yeah, I'm glad you said. And
also.
JJC is the perfectionist who just puts everything together. So working with them gave me a great experience.
This
working
was in the UK, right?
Yes, it was in the UK. Gave me that experience of having that African sound fused into what we do over there, into the other sounds I have.
Now, I know your dad really influenced you growing up musically. Let's talk a bit about that. How were you able to glean from his wide expertise of music to build or start up your own career?
Yeah, I've come from a musical family, the Aberdeen family. And my dad is a jazz musician, so I grew up in a house where you wake up to the sound of saxophone every morning, and we've got a lot of musicians coming in, out. So I'm always following them, watching what they're doing, and I learn from them as well. We actually changed a chicken poultry into a music studio in my house then. So I've always been into music from when I was a little girl. And my dad influenced me a lot because he's a musician. However, it didn't really push me to be a musician, but
why didn't he push you?
I'm not sure. I haven't even worked with my dad before musically. It's quite funny, but he influenced me.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What other influences did you have growing up in your musical career?
Obviously, Sade Adu.
Okay.
That's who I was named after, Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson?
Yes.
That means you have some dance moves to show.
I wish I did. I'll get dancers to do that.
Okay, all right.
I also like a lady called Jill Scott.
Okay,
I love her because I have a sound that's quite similar to hers. And I'm quite old school, Anita Baker and all those kind of people. With regards to the Nigerian artist, Asha, I really like her. I also like Tiwa Savage.
Wonderful.
She inspires me a lot.
Wonderful. So on the final note, what should your fans look out for when My Way finally drops? What should they expect?
They should expect the unexpected.
Wow.
There's a lot of...
Now that's something.
I say very crazy sounding music in there, very young sounding, vibrant, deep, everything and anything is on that album.
Thank you
Everything
very
good.
much. Here's wishing you the best.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. All right, that was Shady Blue. And of course, we're talking about her album and what she has been up to. But then that's the second half. The show just gone by. We have 45 more minutes to go. We have tech coming up. We also have a book chat. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back. It's honestly been an amazing time in front of you here, and all I can say is thank you for being a part of the show.
We still have another 45 minutes to go, so don't go anywhere.
Yep.
And what we say is going to be
there's no
really
dominant
nice.
at all.
we do mean it.
Yeah.
And just stick with us over the next 45 minutes. We're going to be bringing you lots of special stuff. My name is Yomi Ope.
And I am Mike Mesikeno. Another way you can watch us is to stream live if you have to leave the house, and that is at tvcontinental.tv, and then on Facebook at TVC Connect. That's the handle. Send in comments using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria.
Don't forget the TVC app is also available for you to download on both the Android and iOS stores. Now, this app allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world.
Anywhere. Okay, let's get straight into what we have left in the 45 minutes for you. You know, we love our books, and so we have an author in the house, Kikelomo Mudiaga, who will be joining us to talk about her book titled And the Storm Came.
And of course, Mike is going to be keeping us updated with the world of tech. And I can see Dave of DigiSpace lurking around in his sharp suit.
And then finally on the show, we have music producer Gospel on the Beats, who started playing the keyboard at the age of 9. We're going to be looking out for what he has been doing since he was 9.
Creating bits.
What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing in the kitchen? Like,
yeah, what are you guys doing there, man?
Like, yeah.
What are you guys doing? What are you guys
Cocoyam.
doing?
Something with cocoyam.
We're having cocoyam and garden egg sauce this morning.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why are you guys putting fish in it though? Like,
Yomi, the world does not revolve around you. Because you don't like fish or seafood doesn't mean other people shouldn't.
Okay, so I like certain kinds of fish. I told you that before.
Yeah,
It's
some
not
kinds
just
of fish.
about-
So yes, really, that fish thing.
So whenever we want to have a chef on the show who's going to use seafood, we tell them, oh, so Yomi doesn't like, okay, so these are the kind of seafoods he likes. He likes croaker. What else again?
Croaker is the ultimate fish. See, if you want to do fish, croaker #1. That is the ultimate fish. Don't try yourself.
Funny enough, I don't like croaker.
Is it herring or what's it called? There's another one that tastes like croaker, that looks even like croaker.
Sambala.
Which one is sambala?
There's one they call sambala.
There's one that's pretty expensive. It looks like croaker, but it's not croaker.
Yeah, there's one. There's
But
one. Yes, it's
okay.
close to croaker. So you go to some restaurant, this one is close to croaker, and you taste it has a little bit of croaker hybrid or something. Yeah.
Croaker hybrid.
Croaker
So they're different ones. Well, all those ones say sukumia. You don't know what they say. We don't those kind of fish, yeah. We don't, what?
Oh, I actually like catfish.
Oh, you do?
So I just started eating catfish. I didn't eat it before. There's one lady in front of her area. She prepared catfish for you here.
So there's this particular eatery that my husband takes me to a lot because he knows that I like it. So last time I was there,
Yeah.
or sometimes when I'm there, I like to have their swallow, their starch and banga.
Yeah.
And I always ask for their catfish head.
Catfish head.
Yeah, the head.
You like the head?
Oh, I love the head.
There's one guy. I making remember my guy.
Fresh catfish or dried catfish?
Fresh catfish.
My guy beat me. If that guy should hold catfish head, it will be white by the time it's done. You know what? Even if it's black catfish, when it's done, it will suck up.
All the juice from it.
I love eating catfish with Bimri. If you handle the head for you, yeah. See, Baba, head deal. You don't let me team down.
Recently, so for the first time, I've had crabs, previous times, but
You used to eat
for the
crab?
first time, I actually went to the market to buy crabs.
What do you used to eat inside the crab?
I'm still yet to figure out.
So what do you eat inside crabs?
No, crabs are not soft actually. they are shellfish. It's a shellfish. And so it takes a lot of work to shell it. And at the end of the day, I was telling my husband that this fish is a very useless fish.
Useless? I don't get. What are you? The thing is just like sea scorpion or something like that.
So at the end of the day, there's not so much you're eating from the fish.
Yeah, I just suck.
There's not so much you're eating from, crab. Yeah, but I mean, but I just like the way it looks in okra soup, especially.
I don't like it.
So how do you prepare it?
How do you prepare it?
Yeah, so it doesn't actually take so much work. You just boil it in water, first of all, to take out all of the dirt, with a little bit of salt to simmer. Then once it's ready, so you keep on checking on it for like 10-20 minutes, and then you take it out, and then you now season it, especially before you use it to cook whatever it is you want to cook.
What of octopus?
With it. I don't know about octopus.
Where do you want to find that?
Man, you see those Chinese restaurants, they live ones, man. You see them, they're still, you see them, and you know they'll put this inside the man. They're still shaking and
true. But you know what? It's funny because I remember when my husband traveled to Italy late last year, he said he took a lot of pictures of octopuses.
Yes.
And I thought that, because of the imagination animation has created, you think octopus is one big thing. And they're so tiny.
They're big ones, so those ones, they are large ones.
Oh, they are large ones.
The one that if you cover your head like this.
No, like really large
yes,
ones.
now,
like
you
the
cover
ones
your
we
head.
see in cartoons.
You see how they're big is?
Maybe not that big.
Exactly.
Maybe not that big.
Exactly.
They're big ones, so.
Large enough.
They're big ones. You don't believe me. Those cartoons own. You don't believe Mami Water. There's Mami Water too. So yours.
I don't know whether you've seen Mami Water before, but
Mike is from that area.
Have you entered
this?
Oh, forget to.
We have to go to the. Now, the darkest of nights and the fiercest of storms only come to make us stronger. Now, those are powerful words from this book in my hand here, And the Storm Came, by author Kikelamo Mudiaga. She's also a singer. She dabbles a lot in different things. And she's joining us this morning to talk about this book. This is a special book. I've known you for many years. And throughout the time I've known you, the things you went through didn't actually show in my dealing with you.
Okay.
And reading this book, I realized how a lot of the things that you were anchoring your faith on and your responses on, a number of things that you saw. But this book is very emotional. And it was even very emotional for me from the dedication at the beginning. Once I opened it and I saw the people that you dedicated the book to. First, it was your mother. And then your father as well. And then your sister. So your late, let me start, for your late mother, your late father, your late sister, your late brother, and also a friend as well. And you had to write this book. There was no way that you wouldn't have, that this book wouldn't have come out. So talk to us about the process.
I think the process of writing the book came years after, because I kept pushing away, like, no, I can't do this. Why? Because it was so deep and emotionally traumatizing to go over. It was like relieving, the traumas. And I thought, no, I can't do this. I'll just maybe talk about it, but not write it. So I started to write. It took about 2 years to put it all together. And then I lost all the data, so and I thought, yay, finally, like, okay, I have an excuse not
maybe
to,
God doesn't want me to write it,
not to go ahead with it. But it won't leave me. It was like a baby growing and kicking and saying, you must give birth to me. And I had to start all over again. So it was a process of about 4 years, because between that time and before the book was finished, my dad passed as well. So I started the book after I lost my mom and sister, okay? So that was what really motivated the book, losing my mom and my sister on the same day. So when my dad passed, I thought, okay, now I have to write it.
Yeah.
A few things, were responsible for that conviction. First of all, I remember in that season, that very dark season, I was looking for something to help me go through, get through it. I remember going to the bookstores and you know, just looking for a material or something to tell me that someone else has actually
been through
this, you know. And I really didn't see anything. And I thought, okay. And I mean, there are a whole lot of people going through this.
Exactly. That's the next thing I was going to ask, because sometimes, you know, there's people who go through a lot of these things that you've been through. I know some of the work that you do, even before writing this book, has been about encouraging others who are going through this as well, because people handle things in different ways. One of the resonating themes throughout the book that I saw was the fact that you kept referring to God. So there was this God factor that was the driver in everything that you were doing, that kept you alive and kept giving you hope and all of that. Talk to us about it.
Okay, I realized that in life there will be storms. So let me give a quick example. It was the day I was in an Uber not too long ago, and I just had this sense, like it was like I heard a voice say, "Put on your seatbelt and brace." And I thought, okay, so I just did it. And almost immediately, a car rammed into us from the back. And I mean, imagine if I didn't put on my seatbelt. So life is put on your seatbelt and brace, because there will be impact. You know, everybody's impact will be different. Everybody's storm will be different, but there will be storms. There will be trouble. The wind will blow. That's just where we are, how life is. So I use God as, I see him as an anchor, you know. Imagine a huge boat or a ship on the high seas. It has to have an anchor, something that holds you down, even though you sway to the left, to the right, no matter how far. You have something that holds you and tells you, you will come back. Something that keeps you from not losing your mind, because the difference between the person who committed suicide was just hope. The person just couldn't see, you know, a way out, couldn't see another day, like, no, this is the end. So the difference between you and I and that person is we somehow find a way to say, okay, I can live through another day.
And it was one of those things that you also wrote in the book, because at different points in your life, you're going through depression, and you said to yourself that, look, there's no point to all this. And one way or the other, you know, you got pulled back from the brink. At some point, you're actually driving your car.
Yes.
And
at some point, remember, I mean, back in school in uni, like, I was standing up, I think, on the 4th floor in the arts building. I kept looking down, like, I wonder what it would feel like to just jump, you know? And it was as if there was something calling me, like, okay, come on, it won't be so bad, you know? So that's when I realized that there is a thin line between these. I mean, suicidal thoughts are so easy to come by, you know, when you get to the point where you just can't see, you know, the reason to go on.
One of the things also, I mean, you're talking about having an anchor and talking about God, you also talked about the fact that God brought certain kinds of people into your life during these various phases that also helped to strengthen you. Your pastor was one of them. Of course, you got married, you know, got a husband, and even your kids as well.
True.
So that you then have a reason to keep pushing on. Talk to us about that side of it.
Yes. There is something I talked to, you know, a group of kids about recently, and I said isolation is the greatest killer. You know, when you suffer in the dark, when you can't cry out for help. So a whole lot of people who actually eventually do that, like end their lives, they got to a point where even if they were married, they couldn't articulate their pain anymore. So when you're able to be surrounded by people you can talk to, or people who will talk to you even when you're not talking to them and say, how are you doing?
Right.
What's going on? We'll give you a call. I'm coming to see you, you know? Like force you out of that isolation. So those were people, my pastor, going to church every day, not choosing to sit back, even though I didn't feel like it. There were times I didn't feel God was real anymore. Like, okay, I wonder what you have up your sleeves next, you know? So there was that season of fear, like, okay, I don't really trust you anymore.
Right.
Yeah, so hearing the word of God, being reassured, being loved, loved by your children, by your husband, that gives you hope.
Right. Now, the place of music, because I know you do music a lot, you write music. Has that also helped you?
Yes, it has. It has deepened my worship. it has made me see a side of God that many people don't get to see, because really not everybody goes through these, this particular kind of storm. So you see God in a different way. You see that you're actually alive because he chose. The people who passed were not less holy or less important, but he just chose that you still have a purpose, you still have a reason to be here, and that sort of makes you worship and live a life of gratefulness, a life of gratitude.
Wow. On that note of gratefulness, this book is amazing. You can get it anywhere. I mean, it's been out for some time now. And The Storm Came, Kike Lamo Mudiaga. You can get it online and in different bookstores as well. And you can also follow her on Instagram.
Yes,
at
Kike Mudiaga.
Kike Mudiaga. Thank you so much for joining us and for writing this book.
Me.
Hopefully you'll be singing a song on the show sometime soon in the future.
That'll be good.
As well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, so we're heading over to Mike now for some tech news. Hey, guys.
Wow, I love that discussion, Yomi. And there was something she said which really got to me. Brace. Life will definitely be impact, but then you have to brace. Wonderful one there, Yomi. Thank you. All right, so, I've got Dave in the house today. It's good to have you back, Dave.
Always nice to be here.
And today we're talking about something very, very interesting. The scourge of internet fraud and plausible solutions. It's been trending. It might still trend for a while. Yeah. There has been a rise in cyber, which I didn't think it would be possible. Like, I felt like maybe the international community, of course, that there's sort of, a restriction on Nigerian transfers that have to do with Nigeria or something. So I was expecting that there will be a decrease. But what we can see now is that there's a rise in cybercrime. Why is that so?
A lot of things are responsible for that. Most of them are, in fact, probably all of them are not tech related. There's social stuff that we face in the country. But let me say this, there's no reason, absolutely no reason is good enough for this level of crime that we're seeing. But having said that, we all went to school with this, go to school, get good grades, and when you get out of school with good grades, you're going to get good jobs. And we all threw in everything that we've got into going into school. Some of us, some folks have to sell stuff to go to school. Some of them have to go to construction sites to go to school and all of that. And you get all of that done, you get out of school with good grades, and then what? The stuff that was sold to you before going to school is not really there. There's no job anywhere. Yeah. And people get a little bit desperate, when there's the hope that they've built over the years is no longer there. And then you begin to wonder, what is going to happen to me? Now, in the midst of this, technology is getting better. True. The world is becoming smaller. People are more interconnected and all of that. And then somebody whispers to a guy who is so cerebral but has nothing to do. Hey, you can get this done. You can do this and do that.
And that's something I want to mention. Yeah. A number of people that are involved in this are actually quite very intelligent people.
Absolutely. It takes some level of intelligence for you to be able to do what they do. It takes a lot of intelligence to do some of the things that they do. But you see, that's why I said, look, this is beyond tech. This is more of a little bit of our politics, a little bit of our social life, a little bit of our morals as a nation, and so many other things. And it's a shame that we got ourselves into a point where internet crime, cybercrime now looks like the cool thing to do,
So let's look at the tech-related solutions. Yeah. What kind of solutions can we prefer to solve this menace?
We need to get back to the source to be able to come to the solution. Look, in 1999, when this old democratic dispensation started, they sold a lot of hopes to us. Again, I'm going to these things that it's in our head as youths. I remember asking in 1999, because I'd never experienced democracy before 1999. I don't know about you, but I never saw any elected government and all of that. So it was all about the military era where we grew up. And so I remember asking, so what's the big deal? Why is everybody so excited about this democracy and everything? And they were telling me, look, in 10 years' time, Nigeria will be like this, Nigeria will be like that. Mike, it's been 20 years.
It's been 20. Okay, but let's get straight to it. The tech, are there any ways that we can prefer solutions tech-wise?
There are so many things that we can do, but we need to address the minds of the youth first.
The minds of the youth?
Yes, we need to reorientate the minds of the youth from all this evil stuff. Because look, Mike, there are great things you can do online. Legitimate stuff you can do online.
But that's the point. We have a lot of limitations when Nigerians can't open PayPal accounts or receive money, can open, when we can't receive money via PayPal, a lot of restrictions have come online to a lot of things we can do.
So how come they're reaping all these millions that they get online? So what I'm saying in essence is the infrastructure, the current infrastructure that we have is more than enough for anybody who is, determined to make clean money online. Everything that we've got right now. Now, the limitations you're talking about, PayPal and all of that, is because of our banking and financial system. It's not because of PayPal. It's Nigerian banks that, for whatever reason, maybe because of the way we operate and all of that, made it almost impossible for us to have, all those facilities with, internet gateways, payment gateways, and all of that. So,
exactly.
But we also have local, payment gateways that are doing very well, and we can switch even foreign funds with some of them.
Yes, we can. Right? I know.
So with the current level of infrastructure that we have, there is really no limitation. What I think needs to be done is for us to develop capacities. The same thing that these guys are doing in the wrong way. If the government is very serious about it, they can go on an enterprise level on a massive scale, develop these young talents, develop all these guys, equip them with digital skills. Listen to this. China is the manufacturing plant of the world. Everybody that wants to create anything, manufacture anything, will go to China.
Yeah.
India is the ICT belt of the world.
True.
If you want to do anything about software ICT, you go to India. Why can't Nigeria be the digital skills provider of the world?
You know what? We're going to have a part 2 of this. We're going to continue. This is the part where I enjoy. We're getting into how we can use tech, how we can reorientate those people, and then use the same tech and make them do things that are more beneficial for
Absolutely.
us. We'll do a part 2 on this, but then we have to go now. Let's take this break now. There's still a whole lot more to come on the show. We have Gospel on the Beats, who will be on standby with MM and Yomi when we get back from this break.
All right, we've got music producer Gospel on the Beats, who started playing the keyboard at the age of 9. Amazing.
Right.
And he's done productions with some of the biggest acts of our time. Tiwa Savage,
Davido, Don Jazzy. I mean, like, it's amazing. It's amazing. Now let's talk about Gospel on the Beats. Doing non-gospel music.
When they said, when they said Gospel on the Beat, I was like, oh, finally we have a gospel producer.
We have a gospel producer.
And MM just corrected me that you're old school. Anyway, so your name, your parents really set you up. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, for me it was a good setup, and Gospel is my real name, Gospel Obi, so I'm producing music somewhere along the line. My friends, just put it on the beat to it, so that's how, it came about, Gospel on the Beat. And music production has always been something I love. For me, I would say music chose me, so it's more or less like my purpose, and I discovered it quite early while growing up, and of course, like a lot of people say, we started in church, and we're still in church, I'm still a church boy.
Yeah, so let's talk about your parents, because you sound like they actually played a very vital role, in your career. I mean, when they found out that you're not really into gospel music, how do they feel about that?
So you see, the thing about it is that I don't discriminate, so I believe in God, obviously, and serve God, but I'm not religious. And also, I think there's a point you come in your life and you realize that you were born to actually affect lives positively, and it goes beyond the 4 walls of a church or the 4 walls of any religious setup, and that's the truth. So it's bigger than that community or that circle. So for me, it's about purpose, and I realize that if I can help you achieve your goals positively, if I can help you, fulfill your purpose and add value to you positively. So that's what I do when I work with different artists and I help them. So for my parents, they played a very vital role, bringing me up, in a godly way. And to be honest, those values are still,
instilled in
you, and when noticing that not like I no longer produce, but I would say at some point I went mainstream. you know, just so that I can work with other artists, you know. And
that's very nice. You know, one of the things, I mean, I know that you also are working, or when you finish working on your own music, and so working with other artists and getting a lot of exposure from an early age. You started playing the drums and the keyboards and all of that. That will make you a different kind of artist when you're putting out your own album, right?
Very true, yeah. You know, I'm a musician, you know, and I always say there's a big difference between a music producer and a beat maker. You know, so I was privileged to have discovered that on time, and I started playing like different instruments and also have professional training, you know, in music and production as well. You know, so having worked with a lot of artists, you know, like you said, from Davido to Wizkid, Praise, Patoranking, you know, Tiwa, and rest, I've always had in mind to put together my own body of work, studio album, you know, and it's been 3 years, you know, working on this album. You know, and the goal was to record a Pan-African album, you know, and thank God finally today the album, you know, is out. So it's actually 11 tracks, 23 artists from 6 different countries.
That's what I'm saying, because on the, when I was looking at the album art, I was seeing different flags, South Africa, Tanzania, Ghana, and all of that. So it's, Pan-African, that's really good.
Yeah, so before we go really into your album, let's talk about artists that you've worked with, because you've actually worked with like really, really big names in the industry. Now, in regards to creating beats, there's some artists that actually have like a defined idea of what they want to achieve with you know, whatever beats that you're creating for them. What are the challenges that you face in that kind of scenario?
Yeah, you know, when it comes to working with creatives, especially you know artists, as a producer, I try not to discriminate. And I try to understand what the artists want, because there are some artists that are professional enough to be able to communicate their ideas in a professional way. So that way I understand as a producer. But then one of the challenging, you know, moments when an artist cannot clearly, you know, communicate that idea, and they try to use, you know, different ways. So as a producer, I try as much as I can to get myself into the head of that artist, to really understand what the artist want and help the artist, you know. So, and a producer is like an architect, you know. So before a building is built, you know, the plan has to be drawn out. Then the building engineer and other people can work with it. So as a producer, I can map out, you know, the sound, the beats, the production for the artist. So it works in different ways. So some artists can come to me with their ideas and say, okay, if they can't communicate it professionally, then I ask, can you give me a reference? Can you use a song that is already out there to interpret what kind of beat you want? You know, so as soon as I say, then I help them achieve it, but not copy it. But then, so we'll come and say copy and paste, you know. Yeah, so we'll come and say, this one is trending, this song is trending. I want a beat like that song. I want production like that song.
So sort of something like just straightforward.
You know, so, but I always used to let them understand that standing out is key. Being different and being unique, you know. I mean, it's always good. I mean, we can go with trend, but at the same time, you can own the trend. You know, you can own it in as much as there are some elements of what is trending.
Very true. Now, speaking of the album, once again, the fact that you work with different artists, and here you are working with people from different countries. So did you have to go to them in their own country, or did they have to fly to you? So how did it work? And the choices, the specific choices that you made for those specific artists, okay, I want to work with this guy, I want to work with this lady. How did that go?
Now, you know, recording this album, it took me 3 years to put it together, and I told myself I wasn't going to put myself under any form of pressure, because you need to understand that these artists are really busy, and they are busy doing their own projects as well. So I think for me, I took advantage of opportunities and platforms. So big shout out to Coke Studio. So I've been part of Coke Studio Africa for, you know, 2 seasons. And that was in Kenya. So for each of the seasons, I was in Kenya for 3 weeks. And it was more or less like all the stars came to me, you know.
Because I watched that particular episode, and you could tell that there was a lot of creative work that went into it.
Yes, you know, so literally what I did was just reach out to this artist and say, I'm working on my project, I would like to feature you on it. And, you know, that was it. So it wasn't really difficult getting those artists, you know, together because of that platform. Like I said, it was just taking advantage of moments, opportunities, and platforms to put everybody together. So some of the artists in Nigeria came to my studio. Some of the artists I went to their studio. Then the rest, you know, kind of just exchange. And you know, we're in an age and era where you can create music from anywhere. We can exchange emails, can send files, data, and all of that, you know.
Very true. So Flux.
Flux Factory, of course, which
Flux,
gave birth
to
Flux,
the album.
So what does Flux mean?
Now, it depends. You can, I mean, dictionary will tell you state of uncertainty, you know, and further definition will tell you is when something is not constant, like it constantly evolves and changes, you know. So, and for me, I believe that's how creative mind should be. You shouldn't be boxed, you know, in one era, in one idea. You just have to constantly evolve, you know, keep discovering new things. So Flux Factory is, you know, a platform and, you know, a platform where everything we do, we just think of the way forward, just setting the pace and setting the standards. So Flux, the album, is actually a series. So this Flux, I mean, this is going to be the first time I review the second series because I put out the first. So this Flux, the album. Next year, I'm writing a book actually. So next year we'll have Flux the book. Yeah,
Flux the book.
They have Flux the movie.
Flux the movie.
Yeah.
Then when that is released, you let us know. So
most definitely,
like
most definitely.
And she wants to be an actress as well. So
all right.
we'll find a role for her in Flux the movie.
So I know that because you have traveled all the African countries. We don't have Banku here though, but I hope you like cocoyam because we have something really, really delicious in the kitchen that would like it.
Wow.
You taste it, so please join us.
Join us
over here in the kitchen.
Yeah. So I would also like us to talk about if you have any. Are you working on any collaborations with your artists?
Yes.
Okay.
Artist signed on the Flux Factory.
Okay.
Gospel on the beats.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So welcome to the kitchen. Yeah, I know, right? This is Chef Wumi of Wumi Cakes. And this morning, she's made cocoyam with garden egg sauce. You'll never find that anywhere.
Looks interesting.
I tell you. Yeah. So,
Very
Chef Wumi, over to you.
So, like you said, you have this Nigerian thing in you. I also have this Nigerian thing in you.
Nice.
So I try to make something very local. No, we've had this long break, and there's still going to be another one very soon again, which I'm anticipating. So I love to cook with simple recipe that you can get around your environment. You don't have to stress yourself trying to make breakfast. So we have cocoyam. It's something you can always get along the road, especially on Sunday morning. You see all these food do local markets. So we have garden egg as well. We have cocoyam, we have garden egg, we have pepper. I mix 2 species of pepper, the ripe and the unripe one, as well with fish. With little bit of pomo.
Enjoy.
Wow.
It's all yours.
Wow.
This is how we repay our guests on the show. So if you want to swing by tomorrow, it's still allowed.
But you see, my parents taught me to share.
We have a pot full.
We have a pot full. Don't worry. Don't worry, we have a pot full.
You guys are just going to watch me eat.
No, I'm not going to watch you. Me, I'm not watching you, Sha. That's me. You be there. I'm not watching you.
What you think.
The other two can watch you.
Right.
Mike, we're ignoring your purpose.
You have to ignore me. Bring the camera
Ignoring your
here.
instruction.
What
do you think?
You can I do take away with this?
Please
My number is good.
Yeah,
very good.
Do you cook?
No, but I know how to taste very well.
Thanks for being a guest on our show. We appreciate
Thanks
it.
so much for joining us.
And all the best with Flux.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
Flux the album.
Yeah.
And you know all the other Flux projects that are
That's
coming up.
coming up.
All right.
Chef Wumi, well done.
Thank you.
Chef Wumi, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Big shout out to Homely NG for our kitchen accessories.
Yes, indeed.
We're going to see you tomorrow, Friday. Friday edition of the
Friday's show is going to be
It's going to be
elite. It's going to be jazzified, guys.
It's going to be full of flux.
Wow.
It's going to be. Don't use the word fluxy. No, we can't. But you know, anyway, we're going to be back tomorrow, 6 a.m. Don't forget, it's going to be special.
Yeah. See you tomorrow.
Bye.